The air inside the downtown bank was cold and still, the kind of chill that didn't just come from the air conditioner, but from the silent judgment of the people inside. The marble floors shined, and the walls were lined with posters about customer care, though no one truly seemed to care. A young girl, around 16, stepped nervously through the glass doors. Her clothes were simple, faded jeans and a light blue sweater. Her hands trembled slightly as she held a white envelope close to her chest. Her name was Amara Johnson. It was the first time she had ever walked into a bank. Her mother had passed away only 2 months earlier, leaving behind a small inheritance check and a reward from the company where she had worked for 15 years. Amara had promised her mother she'd use it wisely, for college, for a better future. She approached the front desk timidly. "Excuse me, sir," she said softly, to the tall man in a dark blue suit behind the counter. His name tag read Mr. Graham, branch manager. He looked up, his sharp eyes scanning her from head to toe. His smile didn't reach his eyes. "Yes, can I help you?" he asked, already sounding impatient. "I'd like to deposit this check," Amara said, handing over the envelope with trembling hands. Mr. Graham raised an eyebrow. The check was from a large corporation, Henderson & Co., for $25,000. He whistled softly. "Where did you get this?" he asked, suspicion dripping from his voice. "It's from my mother's employer," Amara explained quietly. "She passed away. They said this was her final payment and benefits." Mr. Graham leaned back in his chair, smirking slightly. Behind him, 2 tellers exchanged amused glances. "So you're telling me," he said slowly, "that a teenager just walks in here with a $25,000 check?" Amara's eyes dropped to the counter. "It's real. They told me I could come here to deposit it." Mr. Graham chuckled. "Honey, do you have any idea how many fake checks we get every week? Especially from people like you?" His tone was cutting, sharp enough to slice through the little confidence Amara had left. Her cheeks burned with embarrassment. "But sir, it's not fake." He waved his hand dismissively. "Sit down for a moment. I'll check it." He turned toward his colleagues, muttering something under his breath. They laughed. As Amara waited, her heart pounded. She could see him through the glass window of his office, holding the check up to the light, then laughing again with another employee. She tried to stay calm, whispering to herself, "It's okay. Mama said be patient." After 10 long minutes, Mr. Graham returned, this time, not with an explanation, but with a smirk. He dropped the check on the counter, torn into several pieces. Amara gasped. "What did you—" "That was my mother's." He shrugged. "Counterfeit. Next time, young lady, don't try to trick a real bank." And with that, he threw the pieces into the trash can beside him. Tears filled Amara's eyes. "No, please, you don't understand. That was all I had, my mother." "Security!" Mr. Graham called casually, turning away. A guard approached, his face blank, and gently guided her toward the exit. The whole bank was staring now. She could hear people whispering, laughing quietly. Outside, the cold air hit her like a wall. She sank onto the steps, staring at her trembling hands. For a long moment, she couldn't breathe. Then she whispered, "You'll see, Mama. I'll prove it." Meanwhile, inside the bank, Mr. Graham poured himself another cup of coffee, laughing with his assistant, Linda. "These kids think they can play smart. Fake check, probably printed from some website." Linda smiled awkwardly. "But sir, what if it was real?" "Real?" he chuckled. "Look at her. Does she look like someone who'd get that kind of money?" He didn't know that just 2 blocks away, someone was watching everything, through the large glass windows of the bank. A man in a dark car wearing sunglasses lowered his phone after recording the entire scene. He was Mr. Daniels, the company's vice president, and one of the people who had personally signed Amara's check. He frowned deeply. "Unbelievable," he muttered. "She's that woman's daughter." That evening, Amara sat at the small kitchen table of her tiny apartment. The place was dimly lit, and the walls were lined with photos of her mother, smiling. In her uniform, always hopeful, she replayed the moment again and again. The sound of tearing paper, the laughter, the humiliation. A single tear rolled down her cheek. Then her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "Hi, Amara. This is Mr. Daniels from Henderson & Co. I witnessed what happened at the bank today. Please meet me tomorrow at 10 a.m. at our company office. Don't worry. I'll make sure you get what's yours." Her eyes widened. For a moment, she thought it might be a cruel joke. but something in the tone, it felt sincere. She whispered, "Thank you, Mama, maybe this is a sign." Next day, the turning point. The following morning, Amara arrived at Henderson & Kober headquarters. The building was massive, its glass walls reflecting the sunlight like mirrors. At the front desk, the receptionist smiled warmly. "Miss Amara Johnson? Mr. Daniels is expecting you." When she entered his office, she was greeted by a tall man in a tailored suit, his expression kind but serious. "Amara, I'm so sorry for what happened yesterday," he began. "Your mother, Mrs. Clara Johnson, was one of our best employees. We owe her family much more than that check." Amara blinked. "So, it was real?" He nodded. "Absolutely real. I personally signed it. What that manager did was unacceptable and illegal. We've already filed a complaint to the bank's corporate office." She gasped softly. "He tore it up right in front of me." Mr. Daniels smiled faintly. "He's going to regret that. And don't worry, your funds have already been reissued. But I have a better idea." He handed her a new document. "We're offering you a scholarship in your mother's honor. Full tuition, books, and housing for any university of your choice." Amara's eyes filled with tears again, but this time, tears of joy. I don't know what to say." "Just promise me one thing," Mr. Daniels said kindly. "Never let anyone make you feel small because of who you are." Later that week, at the same bank, Mr. Graham was called into the regional manager's office. He looked confused. "Sir, what's this about?" The manager looked grim. "We received a complaint from Henderson & Co. Apparently, you destroyed a legitimate check worth $25,000 as due. You have any idea who that young girl was?" Mr. Graham frowned. "Some kid pretending to..." She was the daughter of one of their top executives. "The company has demanded disciplinary action." Mr. Graham's face went pale. "You're suspended effective immediately," the manager said coldly. "Clean out your desk." 1 year later, a tall young woman stepped out of a car in front of a local community bank, confident, poised, and smiling. She was wearing a navy blue suit, holding a folder that read Youth Financial Awareness Program. It was Amara. She walked inside, the same bank where it had all started. Behind the counter, the employees recognized her instantly. The whispers began again, but this time in awe. She approached the new manager, offering her hand. "Good morning. I'm Amara Johnson. I'm here to give a seminar on fair treatment and financial education." The manager smiled warmly. "We're honored to have you, Miss Johnson." As she looked around the bank, she saw the old desk, the one where Mr. Graham once sat. She smiled softly and whispered, "Forgive them, Mama. I did it." Morale. Never judge someone by their appearance or background. Respect costs nothing, but losing it can cost everything.